I am 84 years old. I am sitting in a chair that cost more than my first car. The leather is imported. The wood is hand-carved. I am wearing a shirt that is ironed and crisp, buttoned all the way to the top. My house is paid for. The lawn out front is perfectly green, the kind of green you only see in magazines. And the hedges are trimmed in straight, sharp lines that separate me from the rest of the world. From the outside, if you drove past my window right now, you would slow down. You would look at this big house, at the Mercedes in the driveway, and you would think, there is a man who has it all together. There is a man who won. There is a man who did things right. And you would be wrong. I am 84 years old, and I am the poorest man I know. I am not poor in money. I have plenty of that. I am poor in time. I am poor in memories. I am poor in the things that actually matter when you are sitting where I am sitting, waiting for the sun to go down for the last few times. I want to tell you something, and I need you to listen. I don't say this to scare you. I say this because I am running out of breath to say it, and someone needs to hear it. I spent my entire life worrying about what people thought of me. I didn't just worry about it. I was consumed by it. I was a slave to it. I built my entire existence around an audience that I was convinced was watching my every move. I thought there was a scoreboard somewhere. I thought that if I made a mistake, or if I looked foolish, or if I didn't follow the script, the world would stop and point a finger at me. I learned the truth too late. The truth is, nobody was watching. Everyone was too busy worrying about themselves. I look back at my 20s now. It feels like looking at a different person. But I remember the fear. It was a physical weight in my chest. I remember I wanted to be an artist. It sounds cliche now, doesn't it? But I did. I could draw. I loved the smell of charcoal and the way ink felt on paper. I could lose hours just sketching the way the light hit a building. But my father told me that drawing was for children. He told me that men had careers. Men had responsibilities. Men wore suits and carried briefcases. And I was terrified of disappointing him. I was terrified of my friends seeing me struggle. I was terrified of the word starving. So I stopped drawing. I didn't just put the pencils away, I threw them away. I became an accountant. I spent 40 years looking at numbers. I spent 40 years inside a gray office with fluorescent lights that hummed. I was good at it. That's the worst part. I was competent. I was reliable. I was respectable. When people asked me what I did at dinner parties, I could tell them a title that made them nod with approval. "Oh, he's a senior partner," they would say. "He's with the firm." And I would puff out my chest, feeling safe. That was the drug. Safety. Validation. The nod of approval from people I didn't even like. I bought a house in the right neighborhood. Not because I liked the house. It was too big, echoing, and cold, and the heating bill was enormous. But because it was a neighborhood where successful people lived. It was the zip code that signaled to the world, I have arrived. I bought cars that I didn't particularly like driving. German cars with stiff seats, because they were the cars that projected stability. I remember once, in my 30s, I wanted to grow a beard. just a simple thing. I thought it would look distinguished. But I shaved every morning, scraping my skin raw, because I worried my boss, Mr. Henderson, would think I looked untidy. I worried the clients would think I was letting myself go. I sacrificed my own face for the comfort of a man who didn't know the names of my children. And then there was Sarah. Sarah was my wife. She passed away 7 years ago. The house has been silent ever since. Sarah was full of life. She was messy. She laughed too loud. She liked colors that clashed. And looking back, I think I spent half our marriage trying to tone her down. I remember we were invited to a gala once, a fancy corporate retreat. Sarah wanted to wear this dress. It was bright yellow, sunshine yellow. She looked beautiful in it. She looked like a flower in a room full of gray stones. But I looked at her and I felt panic. I thought, everyone else will be in black. Everyone else will be muted. She will stand out. People will stare. They will judge me for having a wife who doesn't know the rules. So I told her. I said, Sarah, maybe wear the black one. It's more appropriate. Saw the light go out of her eyes. Just for a second. She nodded, went upstairs, and changed into the black dress. She spent the whole night sitting quietly by my side, being the good wife. I killed her joy that night. I suffocated it with my own insecurity. I remember she wanted to learn to dance. She begged me. She wanted to take salsa lessons at the community center. She bought the brochure. She put it on the fridge with a magnet. I looked at it every day for a week. And every day I thought, I am a serious man. I am a professional. I cannot be seen shaking my hips in a community center. I will look ridiculous. My colleagues might see me. So I told her no. I told her I was too busy. I told her I had work to do. I broke her heart a little bit that day, just to save my own ego, just to protect an image that nobody cared about but me. When I go through her things now, I find photos of us. In every single photo, I look stiff, I look posed. I am wearing a tie, even at picnics. I am holding my stomach in. I am making sure my smile isn't too wide, too unguarded. I look at those pictures and I hate that man. I want to reach into the photograph and shake him. I want to scream at him. Loosen your tie, hug your wife, spin her around, look like a human being. Who are you trying to impress? But I can't. That man is gone. And Sarah is gone. And the time is gone. The cost of living for others isn't something you pay all at once. It's not a sudden bankruptcy. It's a slow leak. It's the jokes you don't laugh at because you want to seem dignified. It's the questions you don't ask because you don't want to sound stupid. It's the clothes you wear that pinch and bind because they are fashionable. It's the dreams you bury in the backyard because they don't fit the meld of what a successful man looks like. It accumulates. Day by day, year by year, you chisel away pieces of yourself. You sand down your rough edges. You mute your colors. Until one day, you look in the mirror, and there is nothing left but a smooth, hard surface that reflects what everyone else wants to see. And you think you're winning. That's the great trick of it all. You think, look at me. I have no scandals. I have no failures. I am perfect. But you aren't perfect. You're hollow. I remember my son, David. When he was born, I loved him more than I knew was possible. But I was hard on him. God, I was so hard on him. Why? Because I was worried about how he reflected on me. If he acted out in the grocery store, I didn't see a child having a hard time. I didn't see a little boy who was tired or hungry. I saw the other shoppers looking at me. I saw them judging my parenting. I saw them thinking, he can't control his child. So I shushed him. I scolded him. I grabbed his arm too tight. I made him be quiet. I prioritized the comfort of strangers in the dairy aisle over the feelings of my own son. When he was 18, he came to me. He had this fire in his eyes. He said he didn't want to go to law school. He wanted to start a landscaping business. He liked the earth. He liked building things with stone and soil. I was horrified. You'll be a gardener? I said. I remember the disdain in my voice. It makes me sick now. What will I tell my friends at the club? What will I tell the family? After all the tuition I paid, you want to dig holes? We fought for years. The silence between us grew so thick you could choke on it. He did it anyway. He walked away from my money and my approval. He started that business. And you know what? He's happy. He works with his hands. He is outside in the sun every day. He comes home dirty and tired and satisfied. He built a life that fits him, not a life that fits a meld. He is happier than I ever was in my tailored suits and corner office. And when I look at him now, a grown man with gray in his beard, I don't feel shame. I feel envy. He was brave enough to be himself. I wasn't. But the distance between us, that is still there. We are polite. He visits on holidays. We talk about the weather. But we are not close. I built a wall of expectations, brick by brick, and now I am sitting alone on my side of it. That is the price of worrying about opinions. You sacrifice connection for admiration. You get people to admire your shell, but you never let them in to love your soul. Now at 84, things are different. My body is failing. My knees hurt when it rains. My hearing is going. The world sounds muffled, like I'm underwater. I walk slowly, shuffling my feet. And a funny thing happens when you get this old. You become invisible. I walk down the street now and nobody looks at me. I am just an old man in a coat. Nobody cares if my shoes are polished. Nobody cares if my back is straight. Nobody cares about my bank account or my past job title. And in this invisibility, for the first time in my life, I have found freedom. It is a cruel joke that we find freedom only when we are too frail to fully use it. I wear comfortable pants now, elastic waistbands. I don't care. I eat ice cream in the park and I get it on my chin and I don't care. I tell the truth. If I don't want to go somewhere, I say, no, I don't want to go. I don't worry about being polite. I don't worry about being impressive. I don't worry about the scoreboard. And in this quiet freedom, I look back at the millions of moments I wasted. The parties I didn't go to because I felt too fat. The opinions I didn't share because I thought they were too controversial. The love I didn't express because I thought it made me look weak. The silly jokes I swallowed. The dances I sat out. I see them all as lost coins dropped into a deep, dark ocean. They are gone. You cannot dive down and get them back. If I could go back to being 30 or 40 or even 50, God, I would live so differently. I would dance with Sarah. I would dance until I was sweating and out of breath and looking like a complete fool. I would laugh when people stared. I would wave to them. I would say, "Look at us, aren't we alive?" I would let my son be a gardener or a clown or a poet, and I would tell everyone, "Look at my son. Look how happy he is. That is success." I would wear bright colors. I would drive a beat-up truck if it made me smile. I would hug my friends. I would tell my boss that I am leaving at 5 p.m. because I have a life to live, and that life is more important than his quarterly report. But I cannot go back. The movie is almost over, and I cannot rewind the tape. And that is why I'm talking to you. I don't know who you are. I can't see your face. Maybe you are young, in your 20s, just starting out. Maybe you are in the middle of the storm, in your 40s, carrying the weight of the world. Maybe you are sitting at your desk right now, holding your breath, worrying about a presentation. Maybe you are looking in the mirror, criticizing your nose or your stomach or your hairline. Maybe you are holding back a joke because you're afraid nobody will laugh. Please, listen to an old man who is tired. It does not matter. The opinions of others are a mirage. They are smoke. People's thoughts about you are fleeting. They change with the wind. One minute they love you, the next they forget you. You cannot build a home on a foundation that moves. The people you are trying to impress, most of them won't be at your funeral. And the ones who will be there, they won't care about your job title. They will care about how you made them feel. The only person you have to live with, every single second of every single day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you die, is yourself. When you are 84 and you are sitting in a quiet room, the applause of the crowd will be long gone. The polite nods of the neighbors will be a memory. The awards on the shelf will just be metal and glass collecting dust. All you will have is your own heart. Will it be full? Will it be full of memories of times you were brave, times you were true, times you were foolish and happy? Or will it be empty like mine? Will it be a catalog of fears and hesitations? Don't let the fear of embarrassment keep you from being alive. Embarrassment is just a moment. It burns for a second and then it fades. But regret is a slow, cold ache. Regret is forever. If you want to sing, sing loud. If you want to write a book, write it. If you want to quit your job and open a bakery, do it. If you want to wear the silly hat, wear the hat. Be weird. Be awkward. Be messy. Be unpolished. Be happy. Because the alternative is to be pristine and polished and respected and utterly, completely miserable. I am 84. My time is almost up. The shadows are getting longer in my garden. The sun is dipping below the hedges. I am going to put down this pen now. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to sit on the grass, the damp, cold grass. I might stain my expensive pants. I might look like a senile old man to the neighbors. And for the first time in my life, I am not going to care. I hope you learn this sooner than I did. I hope you don't wait until the end to start the beginning. Good luck. You're going to need it. But more importantly, you're going to need courage. The courage to just be you.